Right before I started this video, I like literally was questioning whether or not I was a true Texan because I waited this long in the Is It Really Worth It series to feature guacamole. Store-bought versus homemade guacamole, which is it? Homemade or store-bought? Cost, convenience, ingredients. We're gonna compare all of it in this next episode in the Is It Really Worth It series. Meanwhile, I mean, I'm just gonna have to have this. This is gonna be like dinner. Can chips and guac be dinner? Is that a thing? It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing for me today. So let's get to comparing and prepping this guacamole. Ingredient and cost comparison for homemade guacamole. Here is a store-bought. It's about a pint or so, $7. We have avocados, a bag of 5 avocados. These are pretty small, $7.87. The Roma tomato is 30 cents. The cilantro, I'm gonna use just a touch of that. So we're gonna go with 5 cents, which is probably generous because that whole bunch is 50 cents. Garlic, 10 cents. I have some minced garlic in the fridge I'll use. Red onion, I'm just gonna use a portion of that. So 15 cents, and then 1 or 2 limes. Those are a quarter a piece. So altogether, a little bit under $9 for all of these guys. And if you're wondering why I have 6 avocados and I said it was a bag of 5, that's because one of these is looking kind of sad. So I happen to have a few others on hand because, well, we love avocados around here. This is Texas and I am generally obsessed. So we're going to flip on over and make this. Ingredient wise, this is pretty fresh. It's gonna just have avocado, Roma tomatoes, red onion, cilantro. This one does have jalapeno peppers and a seasoning and lime juice. So almost identical on the ingredient front. But I am going to show you how to make homemade guacamole. It's very simple if you've never done it. I'll show you how I cut the avocados open to scoop and whatnot. So let's get over and do that next. Making fresh guacamole. We start with the avocados and then we add everything else after. Okay, not so bad. So I just slice around the, what's the opposite of the equator? I don't know why I can't ever remember geography terms when I need it. Then I machete chop the seed and twist it out. I'm worried about this one too. Yeah, he's got like a whole section. I think I can take this section over here. That top part is gonna be, I'm gonna leave that behind. Okay, I actually have one more. I'm gonna just see. That one surprised me. Maybe this one will be okay too. All right, so I have my shells and my seeds all over here. I'm just gonna, yeah, that's not so bad. Again, you never know. This other one though is looking real questionable. So I think this will be good for 5 avocados worth. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is do the lime and mash together, and then I'll add in the other mix-ins. I like to get the lime in there right away, especially since some of these are browner. I don't see seeds in this lime, but I'm squeezing upside down just in case there are seeds. Every now and again, lemons often have seeds. Every now and then you'll get one with a lime, but. Okay, I'm gonna do both limes today. These are pretty juicy. Sometimes limes are like, yeah, nope, no juice in here, but these are actually pretty good. And I don't ever mind if there's a little bit of pulp in there either, right? That's never gonna, a little pop of lime is never gonna hurt guacamole. Actually, that might be enough. Yeah, that's got maybe just, it could use maybe a touch more lime, but I think it'll be okay. Let me add all the other ingredients and then I might add more lime. A quick tip about limes, if it's super, super hard, before you even cut it open, like I could tell that one was pretty soft, like give it a good press like with your palm and like roll it. That will loosen up the pulp. This loosens the pulp up so that when you do cut it open and squeeze, it comes out easily. So I'm gonna actually wait on that one. I'm just gonna cut little bite-sized pieces A cheat here would be just to toss in a little bit of pico de gallo, like a pre-made, if your store has that. It is more expensive. This is 30 cents to chop a tomato. Friends, that's not very much. I want it all in there, the seeds, the juice, everything, except for that little top stem part. So we're just gonna slice this up, toss it in, and add some of these other ingredients, and this is good to go. We love guacamole. I just told my boys, I'm making guac. It'll be ready in a little bit for a snack. And then I thought, oh my goodness, do we have enough chips? I know we have chips, but I don't know if we have enough for this big old bowl. We are about to find out. This knife isn't like my chef's knife can pick up all these little seeds. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of them. And then I'm just gonna take off just like a touch of cilantro. This is just a tiny bit. Of course, if you have that soap cilantro gene, skip this part. You could use a ground cumin instead if you wanted a little bit of that Tex-Mex smoky flavor. Go ahead and use the cumin in place of this, but I'm just gonna use this fresh cilantro because, well, we love it. Okay. Okay, this is absolutely the wrong knife for this onion, but I am just gonna carry on. I really don't want much red onion. I think I'm just gonna do one slice worth and keep this for like burgers this week or something. I just don't want a lot of red onion in this. I would add more, but my boys will say, Mom, we don't like this onion. They don't wanna pick it out. It's like that funny meme. Like they can't find their like soccer cleats when they need them, but they can find an onion in dinner. They could certainly find the onion in this guac because, well, it's bright purple and this guacamole is very green. So they'll find the onion in here and they'll just pick it out, or they'll just eat it and they'll get over it. No tears on that one, good. I don't usually have trouble with red onions. White onions and sometimes yellow, whoosh. Before we stir, I'm gonna add some garlic, and I'm gonna be hearty. This is probably about a tablespoon. And some salt. I generally go light on the salt, especially if we're eating it with chips, because chips are salty and will add to the saltiness when you take a bite, right? So we're gonna start with that, and then go from there, okay? So mixing. I'm still just using my basic spoon, which is fine. I might get my fork here. I might use that fork to mash up some of these bigger chunks. Pretty simple to do. Once you figure out the avocado situation, the ripeness, I will link all of these videos about choosing avocados, cutting avocados. I showed you how to cut one so you get the whole bulk flesh out at once. I'll link all of that here down below the video to make it easier for you to find those other avocado resources. So this is ready for a taste test. I'll give it a taste test, maybe a little bit more salt, maybe a little bit more lime, and I'll be back in a sec with our comparison. Okay, quick taste. I got some tortilla chips. Got the salt right. I do think it needs a touch more lime. I'm trying to think, how do I save this for water? I guess if I cut this into this other half into like quarters, I could add it to my water. The other thing I will sometimes do with extra lime or lemon like this is I will slice it up and then get the seeds out and toss it in the disposal just to freshen it up with the rind, the skin, the rind and everything, it just cleans it all and gives it that fresh lemon lime sort of freshness factor, I guess. So sometimes I'll do that. Actually, I'll probably do that with this leftover. There's no seeds in there, so that would be a good one to toss in the disposal to freshen things up. I really just added like 2 pinchfuls. It wasn't even that much. This is a big bowl. That's better. Here's the final comparison. Store-bought guacamole, this was $6.98. The homemade version, this is clocking in at just under $9. And I did use the 6th avocado that I had, but I also didn't use some of the others because they were a little overly ripe. So rounds out to be about 5 pretty small I would say Haas avocados. The other ingredients altogether a little less than $9. We got almost double. This is like, it's not quite as tall and deep, but it's certainly double wide. $7, $9, but almost twice as much, 1.5 times for sure. So cheaper right here. Homemade is cheaper. Fresher, obviously. This is as fresh as it gets. I actually don't love this guacamole. I'm gonna have to figure out how are we gonna use this. I might just go with it. This one has too much pepper in it. It's just, I don't love it. So, but I wanted to get it for comparison and price comparison size. Taste, homemade. Cost, homemade. Convenience, pretty easy once you've done it once or twice. You'll get better at choosing the right ripeness. You're gonna wanna watch those other videos I mentioned about cutting, choosing avocados and whatnot. That will help you in the long run to make the best guacamole. This like homemade is the only way. I've had this at like parties and different things. I just generally will make it because it's just that much better, and you can control what you put in it. If you just want a basic mashed avocado, salt, lime, that's fantastic. If you don't like all these mix-ins like the tomatoes and the red onion, also don't include them, right? I have made an amazing guacamole with chopped up mangoes, little tiny mangoes and little tiny red peppers in here mixed in with all these ingredients. So amazing. I've pan toasted corn, like ears of corn, and then shaved off the kernels where it's like a little bit charred. You could also do like a grilled corn and a little cotija cheese, and then you have this like street corn style guacamole. I will link all of these recipes down below, by the way. So easy, so delicious, such options and different ways to make guacamole. So you're not going to want to sleep on making your own guacamole. If you never have, now you know how, and you can enjoy this homemade guacamole. Like, I can't stop. I know this is bad. I need the kids to come down here and help me with this because woo, homemade wins every time. Guacamole, that's easy. You probably already knew the answer before I even started the video, but now you know how to make guacamole. And if you learned that and that's something new for you, give me a thumbs up. If you're gonna make this guacamole, including with one of those ways that I mentioned doing it with little extra ingredient mix-ins, also hit me up with a like. That helps YouTube know that you like this video and it helps other people find it as well. We have new videos coming out all the time, so please subscribe so you can get notifications of when we release new videos, which lately has been on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're sharing episodes in this Is It Really Worth It series, as well as other budget cooking hacks, freezer prep tutorials, and more. So don't forget to hit subscribe. All right, it's bye for now. I'm gonna go drown myself in this bowl of guacamole, and I will see you in the next episode.